Welcome to the Masterclass. This is for men who are serious about quitting porn once and for all. We're going to show you 3 steps on how to get some of your power back. And this is exactly what we're going to be looking at and going through for the next about half an hour or so. So my name is Austin Zest. I'm really glad that you're here. You've made the first decision. You've made a mini commitment to start to develop a better relationship with porn so you can mature out of it. And just to let you know, this is a discreet and a confidential class. So the reason that you haven't been able to quit pornography is not because you're not good enough, strong enough, or righteous enough. You know, you were not born wanting pornography, which means that you don't have to deal with it forever and you don't have to die wanting it as well. You need to learn a method that actually works. So we are working, we're working with people who are working hard, and at the end of the day, they're looking at porn, and it just does not give them what it used to give them. The opposite, quite in fact. The relief is being replaced by misery, and you are watching it and you're wishing it that it was not you, then you are definitely not alone. So welcome to a new world, my friend. Welcome to a world where you want to get your control back, where you want to get your power back, because what we hear from most men is that they want some control and they want some power back into their lives because they've given it over to the porn, essentially. At the end of the day, sometimes a bit more, earlier than at the end of the day. Some guys are waking up, right off the bat watching porn or in their car or whatever. But, we often think about porn and, we look at it like it's a reward. And what we often think is that we're making our own choices here. We're not. One day it becomes a realization that this is not a choice at all. It becomes habitual. You're doing it every day, 3 times a day. You're wasting so much energy. We do it so unconsciously at that point. We're kind of on autopilot. And we want to get control back because in that is the power of choice. So this masterclass is all about getting control and getting your choice back. Now, does this sound like you? You want to quit viewing porn. You've even tried to quit in the past, but you started viewing again. You worry that porn will follow you for the rest of your life. You worry about the effects that porn is having on your relationships, on your, spouse. Maybe you've even had a divorce. Maybe your wife's thinking of divorce. There's all kinds of ranges on that. Maybe you can't get a girlfriend because you're actually, you're watching porn too much and it is making you feel desensitized to actual real women. So there's a few circumstances here in that. Maybe you have thoughts like, hey, I'm not good enough, strong enough, committed enough to beat this. You feel like your actions just don't align with your values and you're sick of it. Porn is the one thing that you cannot seem to get rid of. You got, a lot of control in other aspects of your life, but with the porn, you have no control. You're tired of going back and forth between quitting and giving in. Your porn habit has ruined your confidence. You don't go after opportunities, dating, promotions, because you think you don't deserve it. Welcome to a unique approach specifically designed for men who are looking to quit, who are very serious about quitting. So this approach is very simple, and it's a simple approach to solving porn problems, and it removes all of the guesswork. So get rid of all that guesswork, the reading, the Googling, reading up on forums, watching on YouTube, to enable you to break free, feel good again about yourself, and get back in control of your life, all these things. We are going to take you through some of these steps on how to do this. So we're going to dive a little bit deep today. Number 1, we will start off by stopping shame and starting to feel better about yourself now, removing the fear and the doubt. Okay, number 2, how to lose the desire to watch porn and how to stop giving in after a few weeks or months. And we're going to go over the number 1 mistake that most men make when trying to quit porn as well. Or it's really an action that they don't take a lot of the times. 3, living and thriving your best life free of porn. Now, this is my favorite. This is my favorite because this is the hope, really, of quitting porn is that you can, as I am living proof of this, you can actually become a man above porn, free of porn completely, and you can create a life that you cannot even imagine right now how good it can possibly be. So we're going to teach you how to get your power back, and we're going to show you all the resources that you have internally to make this work for you. So our process is, how to quit porn forever. You will notice that our process removes the shame that comes from porn and changes how you think and feel about the porn. So we make sure that you don't just stop for a while and then fall back in it. This is very typical. This is a thing like with maybe you're here because of a Facebook group or Reddit group. Those are really good support systems for a time. However, a lot of the times people do that and then they fall back into it because they don't have the internal tools to actually overcome this. So over time, though, your brain and body will become revitalized. So you don't need to do anything for it. Building new emotional responses so you can flourish without the porn. This is the goal, and it's very doable. Our process involves utilizing support and methods to get you out of urges quickly so you don't have to go on autopilot again, doing things that you regret. Then you can decide what it is you want to do. Continue watching porn, take a break, and see how things are. Likely, though, you're going to stop forever. This is you getting your control and your power back. Now, these methods are proven for men everywhere. So whatever industry you're in, you might be a blue-collar worker, you might be an entrepreneur, you might be, working in software, IT, a lot of work from home, guys. After COVID, a lot of people start working from home, trying new careers, doing sales, but a lot of that revolves around sitting in the computer, sitting a lot. For this, you need to learn strategies and techniques to move the energy. So maybe you're here because you're sick and tired of trying and failing to control the porn. You don't like the effects that it has on your productivities, your relationships at work, they're struggling. You're feeling awkward. You can't really look people in the eye because you have this secret. Your relationships just are not working very good at home as well. People around you, your health, your mental health, your well-being, your general self-esteem. A lot of guys are masturbating every day. They're watching the porn, and all that energy, you need that energy, man. You're just giving it away. You're wasting it. So a lot of guys are doing that, and you're probably fed up with just waking up to the cycle of guilt and anxiety, remorse. It's terrible. Why did this happen again? Trying to piece together how you relapsed again the night before. So maybe you're worn out and exhausted from making promises to yourself and not being able to stick to them. It's very difficult as a man to live that way. Not understanding how you are being so competent and motivated. Maybe you are, an entrepreneur or, a blue-collar worker and you're just working your butt off. But when it comes to the porn, nothing works. Everything goes away. Now, this is reversible. Absolutely reversible. What you are going to learn here is that highly motivated men make highly motivated porn users. This is part of the problem. However, it is a huge part of the solution because you have a high sex drive. You have a highly motivated drive. This can absolutely work to you for your advantage. You need to be the master in control over this energy, and basically your destiny is yours. Maybe you're just worn out and exhausted as well. A lot of guys feel that way. Maybe you're doing this right now. Maybe you've done some of this before, reading books, watching YouTube. A lot of men are doing that, reading books, hoping that sheer willpower will get you through. Beating yourself up then when good intentions fade. Willpower only goes so far, guys. It really does. You need to learn the techniques to get through. Installing phone filters, blockers, that stuff works, but to a degree, and it might help with some temporary solutions there, but if it's really there, you'll go to Best Buy and you'll buy a new phone. That's how strong this addiction is a lot of the times. So you need to learn the internal conflicts, the internal tools so that porn quits you. So a lot of times too, you're getting caught in a circle of being stuck wondering, what is wrong with me? Why am I so weak? And you're joining groups where everybody says, hey, let's do it, giving a little advice here and there. But, a lot of times, this just doesn't work for most men. That's the thing. And then men are going up and down on like a roller coaster, around in circles, just spinning out of control. And it's really a lot like a roller coaster. You are getting in for the ride. Once you are strapped into that seat, you're no longer in control. That's like, you're sitting down, you're watching that porn. You are not in control. It is dragging you to whatever it is on the porn website you're going to, and it's not something that is good for any man, really. So, living like this, too, as a responsible man, we have so many responsibilities now. The changes, the long computer sessions, you're working in blue collar. You have a boss who's yelling at you, dictating you, maybe things aren't as great as they could be at home. The thing is, though, a lot of that is your responsibility as a man. Welcome to manhood. Unfortunately, this is what we have to deal with. This is what it is. So, but the good thing is, though, so much of that stuff will change as soon as you get some of your addictions under control. and your shame and all that, is that you're carrying that stuff into your marriage. You're carrying that stuff into your work. You're carrying like a backpack with, 45 kilos of bricks everywhere that you're going. Imagine taking that off and leaving that. So, all the stress of life makes everything really compound quite a bit. So, you can make yourself feel good right in this instant. Let's look into understanding the nature of the problem. With knowledge does come power. You see what I mean? So when we have to understand that, we can learn to understand so that it lets go of you. You don't have to quit porn. It will quit you. Overcoming fear and doubt to quit porn forever. I love that. It will quit you. It will bounce off of you at some point, once you learn the correct tools. Without willpower or inner conflict as well. So I have personally done the most difficult work over the last 10 years, really going deep into all of this, with no coaching, with nothing. I did this on my own, and I have figured out solutions out of that. I have suffered through this trial and error and gained the capacity to give you personalized instructions based on your needs. That brings me here to you today. So you're going to learn how to do this without any guilt or shame. It's time to put that part behind, because the guilt and the shame absolutely makes this way worse. Your body actually gets addicted to guilt and anxiety and shame, and it's very toxic. And so you then become used to that cycle. Absolutely. Who am I? Who's this guy? What kind of picture is this? This guy's doing a crazy exercise in the middle of the Peruvian jungle. Well, I'm a pretty serious guy, so I do like to have some kind of funny, stuff sometimes to take myself a little less serious. But this is actually a very serious practice and exercise that I do teach in there. And it's, you're bringing the energy from down below to up. So I do practice that. And yes, I have traveled through South America. I've met my wife there. A little bit about me, I'm an entrepreneur. I work carpentry. I work construction for many, many years while growing up in San Diego and California. I am the founder of Get Out of Bed Coaching, Live a Constructive Life. So this is all about, men getting out of their depression, getting out of their bed, getting out of their addictions, and living constructive lives. It's a very simple, basic message, but there's very deep meaning behind it. And I have traveled through, Mexico, through South America, faced my fears. I've been in revolutions, accidentally in Ecuador, in Peru for months at a time. I've been stuck in civil unrest, where the whole country would shut down, and I would, be put in these situations to really test myself, to really grow out of any kind of immaturity. And I've had to learn new languages just to travel through various parts of the world. So I've done all these things to really face my fears and to get me to a place to where I can help other people get through this. So it's not just like, I saw a course and here I want to help guys. It's not like that. It's a very deep process that I went through. And, other stuff I like doing, I love to, go to the gym. I love music. I'm a musician, and there's just a lot of things that I do love to do. And I hope to get to know you guys more. So anyway, let's get back into this. So why is now the time to do this? Because life is getting shorter, and porn is ruining your life quality, your day-to-day life quality. Porn alienates you from your family, and your time is absolutely precious on this planet. We've kind of neglected our hearts a lot as men, and it's like once you kind of tap back into your heart clock, you're really operating on a whole different dimension in some way, and you're actually able to accomplish things that are just really in alignment with your being. And if you're here today listening, you probably have an idea of what I'm talking about. And now we look at the way, if I'm just being honest, we look at the way the world is going, especially if you're from the United States, and you see the society, you see the culture, you see what children are living. It is time. It is really absolutely time for us as men to really take action now and stop with these, vices, so we can really own up to our true potential and help lead this generation of people out of this mess. And it starts with you, and it starts with your family. So I just want to throw that out there as well. Now, with all the coaching and everything, I am not a medical doctor. Neither is this medical advice or anything. You have to talk to your doctor. Just be careful. A lot of doctors do say it's okay, masturbation, all that stuff. I think after a certain age, it's good to be able to be in control of that. I know like there's the enemies out there, man. You know that, and all science, doctors will tell you what's wrong is right and what's right is wrong and stuff. So, they're pretty much telling you any way possible to be disempowered. So of course, you go on a doctor's website and they're gonna say, yeah, masturbate every day. It's really healthy and good for you, but anyway, apart from that, just to let you guys know, I am not a medical therapist or anything like that. So if you do actually need medical advice, you need to seek that out. Okay, so this training is for you, though, if you do want to change the things that are going on right now. You want positive changes. You want to end the day-to-day misery, and you are fed up with how you are feeling about porn. You want to take back control. You're tired of that roller coaster. You're done with it. This is not for you. If you are a man who is fighting the fact that maybe you even have a problem, if you even think, porn is right for you or not, and you want to continue on being numb, you want to just give in to the temptation, this is not for you. It really is not. So men who want to continue to desensitize themselves to the porn and to, keep living this kind of lukewarm, halfway life. This is not for you. This is for men who are ready to make the decision to quit. So also, you got to have a commitment in your mind. You have to really be able to want to do this, and then it'll be a lot easier for you once you do it. If you're fighting it, going back and forth, this is just not really going to be for you. So anyway, today, we're going to go through the 3 steps now. So let's see, where we go wrong, because it is in the wrong that, we can get some things a little bit more clear, and it is where we go wrong. That's also when the problems occur. We start to go wrong, and pretty much every man we speak to is making these mistakes to begin with. They've tried it the hard way, and the hard way is really not the way, we think that, everything's got to be difficult in life. What actually doesn't, and we watch and report on all this stuff, we're making our lives way more difficult than it needs to be. So, living with a porn problem is like living with just clouds in the sky constantly over you. You wake up, the old you that you probably want back used to shine right through those clouds, and you were like a light, around the people that you loved, around your friends. You had that positivity, if you can at least remember that. Some guys started porn way young, 9 years old, and maybe they hadn't felt that light since they were 5 or 6 or something. Or some of you, in your teenage years, and you remember that, hey, in high school, I was like, everybody loved me. I was just outgoing and stuff. And then slowly but surely the clouds started coming in. So all we need to do is remove those clouds. We don't need to change you. You yourself are fine. But we need to change these circumstances, and we need to bring your light back in. And then that light will overpower so much of this darkness that you've been dragging around with you. So, but this is often the very thing that we try to do. You know what I mean? We try to change ourselves. I have to change. I'm not good. You don't watch porn because there's something wrong with you necessarily. So, number one, on the one hand, it is not your fault. On the other hand, you have to take responsibility as you are here. It is time for us to take responsibility for ourselves, so that way we can release ourselves really. It's like you actually get more freedom with more responsibility on that. So like porn too, it's very addictive drug. It is not you that's the problem. It acts like hard drugs in the terms that it's incredibly addictive tendencies. It is unbelievable. Porn is one of the most harmful drugs on the planet, the most widespread, sneaky as heck. It is so sneaky, and it just gets in there, and it's almost accepted now through the culture and everything. And 47% of men in the U.S. are watching porn daily now. This is nuts. As you grew through your teenage years, likely you already had access to the internet and porn was everywhere. Or if you're a little bit older, you started seeing Playboy. Maybe you saw your dad's, Playboy, whatever. Stuff like that. It's everywhere. And porn is then introduced to us as young children. And it is often expected from you, from your peers, now to look at that. And, look at these children in these photographs. These young children are already exposed to porn. It is inevitable for them to grow up and be wanting more of it. And since they were so young when they got exposed to it, all of this influences you so deeply on an unconscious level, especially when dealing with women and trying to, get a wife and try to advance your life. It just is absolutely catastrophic. So, you were attracted by society, by peer pressure, by advertising, by movies, movies. I know with me, rated R movies, seeing those sex scenes, it was just like I would skip forward to watch those scenes when I was younger. Dad's VHS, Friends, and unconscious programming. Well, we could get into that some other day, the unconscious programming, but it is there for sure. So here's the question. If it was your fault, at what point did you decide, at what point did you decide that, hey, this is my fault? There's really actually nobody to blame, but you have to take some responsibility now. You were basically forced by peer pressure to try a highly addictive drug. And addictive drugs pull us in and they trap us. This is the cycle that you continue. And the fact that you are not at fault does not mean that you cannot solve it with the right leadership and support. Now, you got to understand that you didn't, therefore you cannot be to blame anymore. But you have to, it doesn't mean that you're a bad person now. And a lot of people think that, like, I am bad. Well, no, that's what shame is. I am bad. You are not bad. You were in a bad circumstance, and now is your opportunity to get out of it. You see what I mean? So it is just time to understand the nature of this. So number 2, how to lose the desire to watch porn, and the number 1 mistake that science has proven to diminish your chances of quitting porn successfully that almost every man makes when trying to quit porn. So this is, what we're going to look at, how to lose the desire to watch porn and how to stop giving in after a few weeks or months. A lot of it is a mind game as well. It sets up, porn problems, addictions, habits, whatever is most comfortable for you to look at it. It is a mind game. For all these reasons, it is complicated and it can be challenging to see through this. This is what we do, and it is absolutely our privilege to lead you out of this and to give you clarity about it. So this is kind of the way a lot of it works. It's like porn ends up quitting you, and you're making overtime. You start to lose the desire to watch porn as the pull gets less and less. Porn issues operate at 2 levels. It affects, as we said, your mind and your body. That internal arguing is causing weakness and energy loss, adding further to your body's stress. So imagine this, if you would, please. When we use the body and mind throughout the day in a way that your energy is well spent, and you use tools and support, then it does not cost much willpower. Willpower is finite. It runs out and needs constant replenishing. So think for just a moment. If you have a busy day, you're stressed out, you're overwhelmed, you are tired, your willpower has run out. The sees you in weakness and pounces, just like a lion takes down one of those deers, whatever. Without a system to follow, you are just tired, of using some kind of you've just tried some kind of form of willpower to quit. You are not to be blamed for the problem, and you are not to be blamed for not being able to solve this problem. It's just obvious, isn't it? When you start to see it that way, right? You can start to see it a bit more clearly, The usual cycle of making a promise to yourself, you're saying this in the morning, oh man, you feel that moment of regret. You just jerked out all night. You got obsessive compulsive. It's 2 a.m. Your eyes are all sunken and swollen, and you feel like crap. You have to take a shower and all that because you just feel filthy. I'm not going to watch porn today. That's not going to happen again tonight. And then, let's try that when the willpower is exhausted. You say that in the morning, you make that commitment. And willpower, a lot of it is it's depleted by dealing with family, driving home, Zoom meetings, these types of things. It's all that stuff. You're working blue collar construction all day. You come back home, your wife didn't clean up the house, stuff like that. It just, all of that compounds, and it makes it a lot more difficult. So this is what willpower is like. This is what it's like trying this. Googling, reading up on it, reading forums, Reddit, all these different forums on there, not having a process and not having a method that actually allows you to win. It is a little bit like a fly in a window, or on a window. Oftentimes it feels like there are invisible forces pulling us to porn, like we go on autopilot. So what the fly doesn't know is that above the glass there is a window that is wide open. All it needs to do is to fly through the window and it's out, but it's an invisible trap. Our mind and body are affected by porn and taints our perceptions. The glass is a trap conjured up by the porn consumption itself, and it feels incredibly real. Probably right now as you are here. So here's the cool thing though. Beliefs can change though, by the way. You may believe, that you cannot quit because you've been watching it since you were 10 years old. It's been 10, 20, 30 years of watching this. Do you remember the age that you even started? Do you know how many years it's been? But beliefs do change. Did you once believe in Santa? Right? We all did. We believed in Santa. I believed in the Easter Bunny completely because my mom put baking soda on the ground, and I thought that was like the footprints. You see what I mean? So, we all did. We all believe this stuff. Do I believe that? No, not anymore. Do you believe in Santa Claus? Probably not now. Did you ever in your adult life believe in something that you no longer believe? About a person, about an actor. When you're a kid, you see James Bond and stuff. And at least I thought it was like real guys, and maybe I thought Will Smith actually was. Men in Black and all that stuff. So, and then when you get into adult, hey, a lot of these guys are not really what I thought they were. In fact, quite the opposite. So with new information, though, comes new belief. And new beliefs trigger the changes. So yes, you will be able to quit porn after X number of years with support. So men watch porn for different reasons. Wanting to just have peace, wanting to have relief from the emotions, stress, and anxiety. Boredom is a big one. Rejection, shame, loneliness. So, you're feeling rejected by women. You're feeling rejected by your wife. Well, I'm just going to go, get my fix now instead of going to the gym. Or maybe there's another reason why you're being rejected and you just go for the go-to, the easy escape. We don't talk a lot about our emotions as men, do we? We barely do. We're taught to kind of hold it all in. Or, some men are becoming overly emotional. I don't think that's super good either, but, whatever. Wanting it all to go away from us for a while. We just want to just chill, right? Hence, we use porn. When we wake up with that remorse, the feelings are absolutely horrendous. And if you're here, you know what I'm talking about, and it's very real. Part of it is psychological. Part of it is chemical, especially, men who are working every day, blue collar, white collar, you're sitting on the computer or you're a plumber, something like that. You're working every day. It's just a way to de-stress. So porn remorse. Let's look at where the porn remorse comes from. So dopamine is not exactly a happy drug like a lot of people think. It's a motivational drug because we need, we believe that we need it and we want it. And with the high, dopamine becomes a low of energy eventually. And then the stress stays there for somebody who watches porn until it's removed by the next session. That's why it's cyclical. The additional problem with this is that tolerance gets built. Just like a drug, tolerance gets built, and you spend more and more time looking for the exact video or for more extreme porn videos. It's insane. All drugs work like this. So what happens is this. When you watch porn continuously, we go in search of feeling normal. So if you watch porn regularly, you will feel actually more stressed, more anxious, more sad than somebody who doesn't watch porn at all. And we think that porn is something that, hey, we do for fun. This is not. This is the nature of the problem. It is cyclical. It involves your dopamine and your body. It involves your mind. When men try to quit porn alone, none of this is understood or utilized. We have to work the way we are as men, not against it with willpower. It just makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? So imagine this. Urges are like a car alarm going off. Imagine that right now. What is it like to have a car alarm outside your window? It's getting more and more annoying. I am now getting to the point where I want it, and I want it to stop. What do we do when we are stressed? What do we do when we turn the car alarm off and we are stressed? Of course, we watch porn. All intentions of the morning that you had are gone, and you're back to square one. And then because you made a commitment to yourself in the morning, you feel way worse about it because you didn't fall through. So the number one mistake now, according to science, is lack of support. In a recent study by David P. Fernandez and his colleagues from the UK, identified lack of support as one of the key factors determining whether a man trying to quit porn is successful in his attempt or not. They measured it scientifically by reading up on men's porn abstinence journals in an online forum and analyzing the data. A lot of men found no other support outside of this online forum, which is really a lesson for us right now. Do not isolate. Find support. Something better than an online forum, perhaps real supportive people that support you in a way that you need, okay? And they should be experts on this. Number 3, overcome fear and doubt. The very, very first thing we do is we help clients remove fear and doubt and shame to quit the porn forever. The fear is very real, and it is part of the invisible trap we mentioned earlier. That's why it just seems so complicated at times. The fear can stop you from making a call to me. The fear can stop you from showing up to the call. What we see is that fear is part of the trap, and you are being bullied and controlled by the porn, essentially. We fear failure as well. So we think, well, I've tried before. There's no use in trying again. There's no way this guy can help me. All these negative things come up, and we think that it was us that failed. We fear trying again, and again, we're back to square one. But there's a different way of thinking. The opposite of fear is curiosity. So the invitation here is to actually be really curious about this. What this method holds, what the opportunity holds for you is choice, power, control, and freedom. What if I really do this with a different method? This is curiosity. When we are curious, we have to take a peek. We have to look and see what's beyond the barriers. We want to see what is there. When we work with clients, we will be able to work out and see what's there or what's getting in the way. Not in a crazy, deep, therapeutic way, though. You are not ill, and this is not a therapy session. This is curiosity. What we fear success. I used to think that was BS for a long time, but this is not. We fear success because we fear our lives are going to be miserable once we get there, or we don't know how to handle the good once it's there as well. What's going to happen when I get there? Or am I going to be missing out on all the fun that I think I'm having, the nostalgia of sitting at 3 a.m. trying to find the right porn video, right? That's the reality of it, but then the nostalgia tricks you in a different way. So that's all part of the trap, though, and it's all part of the illusion, and it's very possible to overcome that. All fear of that change is part of the trap, and you don't need to fear failure because you are going to have a method that actually works. We can get paralyzed in the face of decision by fear. Our advice here is to move. Wherever you feel paralyzed, move. It's in the moving that the change actually begins to happen. And when we try to move to where we want to go, we start with feelings and thoughts of the old version of you. So if you feel a little uneasy by the thought of it, that's all right. We imagine it may be frightening to actually live in a nice mansion. Everybody wants millions of dollars in a nice mansion, but actually when you're used to living in a dark shack, that's all you know, it's actually very frightening and difficult to do that. So one day soon, though, you're going to look back and say, I can't believe I stayed in that, cobweb-filled, tissues everywhere, shack that I was living in. And I can't believe I stayed there. This mansion is me. This is me, a strong, elegant, dominant male ready to take on life. As you know, I'm a coach. In England, they call bus coaches. It's like when you get on a bus, we're going to take you on a journey. Along this journey, you're going to get coached. And you'll look out the window and the scenery changes. You learn stuff, you grow out of the porn quits you, things change, you arrive at the destination, and I'm coaching you there. I go to a different direction, and you get off ready to begin the life that you always knew you could be living. And you will think, this is absolutely just incredible. I really did this. Yes, you really did this. And all the while, you're going to be wondering what took you so long. And you know that you are capable. You absolutely are capable. And because you are in other areas of your life as well, this means that you can be capable in this issue, no problem. But you do need to know that, where you are going if you want to get there. The wrong process is the wrong outcome. It's really that straightforward. So the process of quitting porn is much simpler than you think. It's straightforward and it's highly effective. Who we're looking for? Men like you who are tired of this cycle and are ready to change every aspect of their relationship with porn so they can now be men above porn. It is very simple with the right process. So we have started to remove fear and doubt. We've started to unravel the problem. want to know, has this made a difference for you? Has this masterclass made a difference for you? And are you beginning to see things a little bit differently? Life is so short, and we know this deep down internally. A lot of us don't want to look at that because it's too harsh of a reality. But, it doesn't matter what age you are. You can absolutely enjoy every moment in the rest of your life to the fullest, to the maximum, to the best. And we look to a future that doesn't seem like time is running out, and when we look to the future, it doesn't seem like time is running. It's just, it's either we're running to it or running away from it. Actually, we can just be in it, sit in it, the time, and then you can really enjoy each moment that comes. So how do you want to spend the next 5 years of your life? What is the cost of continuing watching porn? What is the cost of, is this going to cost you your family? Is this going to cost you divorce? The divorce rate is out of control because of porn. So, we have talked to people who have spent thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on OnlyFans. People who just, are wasting their money on that. You don't even get anything from it. You work out that over a couple of years. You are not just missing out on money, life, promotions, your possible wife, opportunities, self-esteem, life quality, people, relationships, and health, expenses for things that you just absolutely do not need. So I hope this has been helpful for you, because I actually want you to be the next man above porn. I want to coach you in 6 months so you are completely free of this problem. And we have an amazing opportunity for you now. So down below, there's a button to book a free call with me. It's a discovery call, and we're going to discover what the right strategy is for you and what the right personal plan will be for you to get out of this once and for all. So if in the last 12 months you're struggling and you just have not been able to quit the porn, then this is definitely for you, and this is a good opportunity for you right now. So I would suggest that you take this opportunity and you do book this call. And it is important to understand this is not for everybody. We do not just take on everybody. Those who are not, mature enough to really make the decision and who need their hand held the whole time, this is not for you. This is for me to really show you the techniques and to follow up on the commitment that you made every day to make sure that you uphold what you are going to do and that you really want to live this life free of porn. So this is a completely free call. I freed up some time in the calendar, so click down below and make your time. And let's figure out what is going wrong with you specifically. And we can put together a strategy. We will put together a plan for you that actually makes sense. This is my expertise. This is what I do. This is what I'm passionate about. And you will leave the call with the exact process that frees you as a man free from porn. It is not a guessing game either. It is a reliable and proven process with personal one-on-one time. If you book the call, as my clients have done, you will break free. But this is your choice, and I will take you through it. Find out where you are now, what you've been doing wrong, what's been holding you back, and get you a plan of action to get you to where you want to be. You need somebody who is strong and who has been through it, because this is a journey for sure. So if it's going to be a good fit, then we might invite you to join our Man Above Porn support program. And this is where you get to become a client of mine. And if you get this opportunity while you're on the phone, it is literally going to transform your entire life. But it all starts with our free discovery session. So how many of you are thinking, look, I don't want to call, I just want to work with you? I do appreciate that, but I don't have a process right now where this can happen. The reason why our process works so well is because we only work with people for whom this is the right process for. You have to know whether this process is right for you, where you are now, where the obstacles are, when, if this is actually a good fit for us both. And you may get a place in our Man Above Porn program. This is important. I don't offer this to everybody. Far from it. If you think that this is just a sales call where everybody gets sold on our coaching program, this is not that. If you think this is a program where people sign up and they just get put on some Discord, this is also absolutely not that. People often get confused. Some people turn up to the call and they don't get offered the spot. This is not for everybody. This is not about, getting our time and commitment. This is about absolutely transforming your entire life. This is what I love to do. So there's a button down below to take the call. Don't let this opportunity go while it's here. Taking the call can be the most important part of the journey that you're on, and which is going to change your entire life. You have seen the process. It enables going from a feeling that a solution is impossible for you to knowing that this is going to work for you. You have the joy of getting your power back free of porn. If you leave this and go back to what you were doing before, this is not going to work. So go ahead and book your call now. You need a complete 180 on your relationship with porn right now and your specific habits. And we do suggest booking a call right here, right now. Do it. When you book your slot, it is vital to fill out the questionnaire that I will send to you, and you will be taken automatically to it. It is automatically part of the process. It's just a few questions. It gives me information to help me prepare so I can get the most out of our time together. And it gives me some thinking time as well, so you can tell me what the issues are, how committed are you, and put the fear aside as well. If I wasn't fearful, how committed am I to change? What have you tried in the past? Do not let this opportunity escape. This call is for you. If you are a man who has tried a few things to change and none of it has worked, you feel defeated, none of it has worked. You want to get control back in your life. Get your power back, because this is your right as a man. If you had a glimmer of a future where porn is no longer in control of you, you had a choice, take the choice. Life is short and you need to do this. So that the years ahead will be the best years for you, for your family, and for everything that you touch in the future. It's just going to be better because you will feel life again. Book your call. If you're on the fence, there is nothing to lose literally in this call, is there? In fact, you are only going to have things to gain. And you can have the best life that you can ever dream of, free of porn. And once we finish here, that box will close. This opportunity will end. I hope that you got to know me a little bit more. This is literally coming from my heart, and I'm literally very enthusiastic about meeting you. Meeting all the men who have been there as well is something that is an opportunity that I just cannot even express how much gratitude I have. So my name is Austin Zest, and I will be more than happy to guide you through this. Book the call.